Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm here with another video and also welcome to this packet tracer. We're gonna discuss about the configuring DTP, okay, and why do we need DTP and all this stuff. So it's gonna be a fun lab. Stick around and let's get started with this video. Um, I'm going to start off reading the objectives and background so you have a better idea of what we're doing here. Okay, so objectives, we're going to configure static trunking, okay, and then configure and verify DTP. Okay, background. As the number of switches in a network increases, the administration necessary to manage the VLANs and trunks can be challenging. To ease some of the VLAN and trunking configurations, trunk negotiation between network devices is managed by the Dynamic Trunking Protocol (DTP), and it's automatically enabled on Catalyst 2960 and Catalyst 3650 switches. In this activity, you will configure trunk links between the switches. You will assign ports to VLANs, verify end-to-end connectivity between hosts in the same VLAN. You will configure trunk links between the switches, and you will configure VLAN 99 as 999 as the native VLAN. Okay. Alright, so instruction we have here, part 1, verify VLAN configuration. Okay, we're going to verify the configure VLANs on the switches. To do that, let's go ahead and start on switch number 1. Let's just verify the current configuration on this switch. Okay, sorry, my mouse kind of, okay, there you go. That enable, and then we're going to do so VLAN brief. What happened there? Typo brief. Okay. All right. So this is the current settings, right? As you can see that we have VLANs that are present. Okay, so these are ports, and these are um, 999 and 999. Okay, it's there. Okay, looks same to me, and you can repeat that step on switch number 2 and switch number 3 to see the all right, I'm gonna close this one out, and we're gonna what VLANs are configured on the switches. As you can see that it was 99 and 999 are configured on all the switches, right? If you did the following so VLAN command on all the switches, you'll see that. Okay, so part 2, create additional VLANs on switch number 2 and switch number 3. Okay, so on switch number 2, create VLAN 10 and name it red. Okay, and then according to VLANs 2030 to the table below, we're going to do that. Okay, all right, so we're going to start on switch number 2. All right, so we bring this on up here. Enabled beyond config term, and so VLAN 10 name red. Okay, and then we have VLAN 20 name blue. Okay, and then next VLAN 30 name yellow. Okay, alright, yellow. Okay, verify the additional of the new VLANs. Enter so VLAN brief at the privilege exit mode. Okay, so we can verify this to see if these are added on the list of VLANs or not. So go back here. So VLAN brief. Okay, all right. So as you can see, these three are the new VLANs that we just added on the switch. Okay, all right. So it's there. All right, in addition to the default VLANs, which VLANs are configured on switch number 2? Okay. Now, what we're gonna do, so these are the additional 10, 20, 30. Okay, that's the answer for this question. Now repeat the previous steps to create the additional VLANs on switch number 3. Okay, so we're gonna repeat the same step on switch number 3. Okay, enabled config term. All right. Okay, so let me move this over here. So VLAN 10 name red. Okay, and then so where did it go? Alright, and then VLAN 30 name blue VLAN. Oh, that's my bad. I'm gonna go VLAN 20 name blue. You can, I think, override this. Identical. So let's do no VLAN. Which one was it? 30. Okay, and then okay, no VLAN 30. Let's go VLAN 30 name yellow. Okay, so that's how you fix if you make a mistake like I did right here. I said VLAN 30 and then I put the wrong name, named blue. Which one is supposed to be VLAN 20? But to fix that, what you do is no VLAN 30, it will remove it, and then you can reassign it. All right, so we're gonna go VLAN 20. That's gonna be name blue. Okay, awesome. All right, so let me verify by going to, I'm gonna go back to that table and see if, so VLAN brief. There you go. So now what we gotta do is we gotta change the, it should be uppercase R, but I put lowercase r. But anyway, that one's correct. So let me change that letter. So what you want to do is no VLAN 10, right? That will remove it. You're gonna go back VLAN 10 and then name is red. There you go. Okay, so if I go again and see, there you go. Now it's all good. All right. Awesome. So now part 3, assign VLANs to ports. All right. So as you can see here, we created the VLAN and we name it, and these are active, but we haven't assigned any ports to them. Okay. So what we're gonna do is use the switch port access mode access command to set access mode for the access links. Use the switch port access VLAN and then the ID command to assign a VLAN to an access port. Okay. Now we're gonna work on assigning the ports to them. So I'm gonna go back to, oops, what is this? Go back to switch number 2. All right, now, and then config term. All right, so our switch, okay, so the ports 1 through 8 gonna be your VLAN 10, and then port 9 to 16 VLAN 20, 17 to 24 VLAN 30. Okay, so we do this by okay, so let me go here and put interface interface range F0/1 -8. Okay, now we're inside those ports, and we're gonna do switch port mode access. Okay, and then we're going to switch port access VLAN 10. Alright, now we're gonna go interface, which is gonna be O-9 to 16, right? Okay. What happened there? Oh, I forgot interface range. Okay, and then we're gonna put switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 20. It's gonna be 20. Interface range. So we're gonna do 17 to 24. Okay, and then switch port mode access. Okay, so this is gonna be MOD, and then switch port access VLAN, what, 30, right? Okay, nice. So we're done with the switch number 2. We're gonna move to switch number 3. Alright, let's move here. Okay, so we're gonna work here. Config term interface range. Slash axle 0/1-8. Switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 10. Okay, let's do this, and then 9-16, 16, and that's gonna be VLAN 20. Okay, and then 17-24, and this is gonna be 30. Okay. All right. Okay. Now we're done with that. Now that you have the ports assigned to VLANs, try to ping from PC1 to PC6. Okay, let's try to ping this from PC1. Ping. So the IP address for PC6 will be this one. Would be 92.168.10.2. Okay. Let's see. All right. So it's not ping. It didn't ping. No pings, right? Pings failed because the port between the switcher in VLAN 1 and PCA and VLAN 2. Okay, so switches are in VLAN 1, right? And then PC6 on VLAN 10, right? So since they're on the different VLANs, they're not communicating right now, as of right now. And it failed. If this was, let's say, if they were on the same VLANs, they would ping because they're on the same VLANs. Let's go ahead and do this second one. What is this? Okay, now part 4, configure trunks on switch 1, switch 2, and switch 3. Okay, so we're going to configure trunks. Dynamic trunking protocol DTP manages the trunk links between Cisco switches. Currently all the switch ports are in the default trunking mode, which is dynamic auto. In this step you will change the trunking mode to dynamic desirable So we're going to change that to dynamic desirable for the links between switches 1 and 2. Okay, the link between switches 1 and 3 will be set as a static trunk. Use VLAN 999 as the native VLAN in the topology, in this topology. Okay, so on the switch 1, configure the trunk link to dynamic desirable on the Ethernet gigabit Ethernet 1 interface, and the configuration of switch 1 is shown below. So we're going to use this. Alright, so go to switch number 1. Alright, and then we're going to enable, and then config term, and then we're going to go to interface gig. You can just type G -1. Okay, and then switch port mode, we're going to use dynamic, right? Dynamic desirable. Okay, so that's good. And what will be the result of trunk negotiation between switch 1 and switch 2? So basically the trunk link has been established between switch 1 and switch 2. Okay, that's your answer. On the switch number 2, verify that the trunk has been negotiated by entering the show interface trunk command. Interface gigabit Ethernet 1 should appear in the output. Okay, so on the switch number 2, we're gonna go, there you go. See, as you can also see right here, it's up. So we're gonna go exit out of this. So interface trunk. Okay, all right, so as you can see, yep, this is what we got. What will be the result of trunk negotiation between? On the switch, verify the trunk has been negotiated by entering command to appear in the output. What is the mode and the status for this port? So mode and status is auto, and status is trunking. Okay, auto and trunking. All right. For the trunk, so this is going to be C, letter C. For the trunk link between switch number 1 and switch number 3, configure interface gigabit Ethernet 2 as a static trunk link on switch number 1. Okay, so we're gonna work on, okay, so between switch number 1 to switch number 1, between switch number 1 and 2, we're gonna do static. Okay, so already in here, just put interface, and we're gonna use gigabit Ethernet 2, port 2. Okay, and then switch port mode trunk, and then switch port none. Okay, none, so no negotiate. Okay, all right. And then D, use the show DTP command to verify status of DTP. Okay, let's do that. Exit out of this. We're going to use show DTP. Okay, so that's the status of DTP. One interface using DTP. Okay. Alright, now let's do E. Verify trunking is enabled on all the switches using the interface show interfaces trunk command. So we're gonna do show interfaces trunk. Alright, there we go. And then the question here is, what is the native VLAN for these trunks currently? So the native is 1 currently, right? As you can see right here, its native is 1. F. Configure VLAN 999 as the native VLAN for the trunk lines on switch 1. Okay, so we're going to change that to 999. The native VLAN going to be 999. So we're going to go ahead and config term interface range G. So both 1 dash to 2, right? And I'm gonna go switch port trunk native VLAN 999. Okay. All right. And then it says, what message did you receive in switch 1 and how would you correct it? So the message we received is this guy right here, which says inconsistency, mismatch, tree, blah blah. Okay. All right. So let's fix that. To correct the native VLAN mismatch, configure VLANs 999 as the native on the switch 2 and switch 3. So we need to match the same native VLAN on switch number 2 and switch number 3. And this will resolve that issue. So we'll go back here. As you can see right here, it says mismatch discovered on 1 and yep. So we're gonna go ahead and on the switch, what we're gonna do is switch 1 is get 1, right? Okay, and switch 2 2. Okay, so switch 3 gonna be 2 port so I'm gonna go interface, it's gonna be on config term interface 0-1 and then switch port mode trunk and then switch port trunk native VLAN 999. Okay, all right, and then let's go to switch number 3, do the same thing here. Exit out of this, config term, undo interface S2, and then switch port mode trunk. Okay, switch port trunk native VLAN 999. Okay, now consistency restored. Now I shouldn't say mismatch because it matches all the native VLANs on those switches are 999. Okay. All right. So now if we move on to okay, I was here. All right. So now what we're gonna do is H. So we did all this, okay, but we're just done with switch number 3, configuring VLAN 99 as the native VLAN. Okay, now H, verified trunk is successfully configured on all the devices. You should be able to ping one switch from another switch in the topology using the IP address configured on the SP1. Okay, attempt to ping. Now let's ping that PC1 from PC1 to PC6. Before it wasn't pinging, right? Let's see if it pings again. So I'm already in that window. Okay, so it didn't ping, so looks like the VLAN on the switch number one was not set up correctly. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, um, okay, so yeah, we did, and yep, what was the ping? Uh, Hint, look at the output. So let's look at this stuff here. Okay, on the switch number one, let's look up first. Um, so we're gonna look up so VLAN brief. Okay. Um, mhm. Okay. Yeah. Yep. It's not. And then you can also do so interface. Let's do so interface trunk. Okay. Yep. The ping was on 60 because the VLAN on switch one was not set up correctly. Okay. So correct the configuration as necessary. So let's go ahead and because we don't have any VLAN, there's no VLAN is set up on this guy. So we need to correct this issue. Alright, so to do that, what you're gonna do is configure Tom, we're gonna go VLAN 10, name, red, and then VLAN 20, the name blue, uh, blue, VLAN 30, name yellow. Okay. Alright, so alright, and necessary part 1, reconfigure trunk on switch 3. Issue the show interface command on switch number 3. Let's go ahead and do that. So interface trunk. Okay. Allowed. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna let's ping ping this guy. See if it pings. There you go. Now it's pinging. Before we didn't have because it didn't ping because the VLANs wasn't set up correctly, or we VLAN wasn't set up, so we couldn't talk from one end to the other end. You have the switch one, which is connecting both switches, so every traffic gotta go to that, and that will distribute to its destination. Awesome. And then let me go back. I'm gonna cancel this. All right, so what is the so we're back to this guy, part 4. Okay, issue the show interface command. I already did that. What's it's asking? What is the mode encapsulation on gig 02? What's the mode? There you can see right here the mode is on, and encapsulation is 802.1q. All right, now let's okay, so configure gig 2 to match gig 2 on switch 1. Okay. Okay, so we're on switch 1. So config term interface okay, to switch port negotiate. All right. Now Okay, now what is the mode and encapsulation on gig 2 after the change? Let's see what's the actually um, exit out of this. Alright, so it's still the same. On and order 2.1q. Okay, nothing changes. Nothing changed. Now C, issue the command so interface gigo2 switch port on the switch number 3. Okay, let's do that. So interface gig o dash 2 switch port. All right, now let's work on what is the negotiation of trunking state displayed. So it's off. Okay, non negotiation of trunking off. Okay, now verify end-to-end connectivity. We were able to ping PC1 to PC6, which are on even though they're on a different VLANs, because of trunking feature they're able to ping. Now from PC2 PC5. Okay, I'm gonna show one thing here. So I'm gonna do this guy a little bit here, bring this guy maybe up. Okay, okay, you can also do, if you go here, add a simple PDU and then just float over to the PC2 and then go over to PC5. Where's our PC5? Right here. Let's say successful, right? So it's pinging. Okay, when you get this successful message on the side right here, it means it's pinging. Okay, you can also ping this way, and you can do same thing for PC3. It should be successful, and we're at completion 100%. So we completed the this packet tracer, and everything it asked for has been satisfied. So thank you again for watching the video, and please, if you like the video, do support the channel and give me a thumbs up, and I'll bring another video and we'll go over that, and everybody have a great day. Thanks.